We go again. Buckle up. Rough roads ahead. So I get this stuff over to my other storage unit. We turn the heat down here before I hit the road. Down, heat. Down. Look, I don't curse you so you can't solve crimes. That doesn't exist in my repertoire. But you curse each other so that we, or I, or them individually cannot solve crimes. I've already designed systems so you won't have to run after people. Nobody's moving on it because you want to do it. That's part of the deep state. Again, I use the term deep state, but that minimizes it. It's a political term. It's the beast. It's in every segment of society. They don't want to stop chasing after people because what they do is what they're doing to me. And then if they think I'm ready, they'll try to pull me over and then see if I run and then kill me. They were doing that in Oklahoma, but they do it everywhere. They'll say they're psychologically analyzing the person, but they're not. They're causing the issue. That's why people like Chauvin get created. But a lot of them have killed that way, and they won't give it up. They crave it and pays them. The only way they get up in life, because they're not real. The only reason they couldn't kill me was because of God, but that's because God had me do things in life. I've got like trillions of dollars in credit. I just can't spend it anywhere because it's Satan's planet. Like Jesus. Jesus had $1 trillion in credit, but it's not his father's kingdom. Even the preachers today, because the big donors give them the money to live their luxurious lives, they'll tell you that's a sign that God's blessing you because you're on fire for the Lord. Once upon a time, there used to be a true statement. Now it's a lie. Because if you were on fire for the Lord, you'd be anywhere but the church. Now, I do admit there's a few real people in the church, and they're eyeing the church and talking to God, but, that's the few witnesses that are there. It's that time. You all have been witnessed at least since 2000. So based upon that witness, God is a righteous judge. There has to be a witness. He can't trust your mouths, your minds. You're all corrupt. Well, I'm not speaking popo now. I'm speaking something else. If I was speaking popo, I go F this, F you, because that's you. When you talk about me, that's the way you speak. They think it's funny, man. They get to curse people. Nobody gets to curse them. Gotcha, gotcha, gotcha. Isn't that what you like saying? Well, I got to go slow. So they're in the middle of God leading me along today. I didn't grab my air compressor, and I needed air that left rear tire up. That's why I ordered new tires. I can't drive the speed limit. I got to go under it. Actually, I think around here this is the speed limit. Or just a little bit under. So the beast is here, and a lot of you are confused because you're looking at physical things. Like, oh, that's a criminal, that's somebody on death row. I told you I'm no better than you. I'm not telling you that. I'm just telling you what God told me and showed me. But we can do better than we're doing. There needs to be no death penalty. I mean, just based upon, I wrote it a bunch of times. I woke up and God was giving me visions everywhere. I'm like, oh, he's on drugs, he's doing drugs, he's selling drugs. I mean, it's the shit they try to put on you. However, one of them was the crucifixion, and I was there, deep in a vision. And I mean, it's shocking. It's shocking. And probably some of you connected during the Passion. I don't know if you did or didn't, but some of you probably could have. Probably real enough. And a collective mind, that kind of thing. But, ever since that day, no death penalty. I didn't want to, shortly, I think even then, I just Had no taste for any death, any meat. Even when I was awakening in the Marshal Service, it was weird because, you know, the guys, like, all of a sudden I'm looking, I'm like, ah. You know, I had been to war and everything, but at that point, I don't know. I was waking up. I was like, they were like, "Oh, come in the Warrant Squad, Fugitive Squad. They got this video going. It's a Bosnian cutting somebody's head off or something." I'm like, "Oh yeah, that's what I want to say." It was just everything was changing, you know. I mean, because I was being awakened. And they led me out of government. They tried the same thing just now. You know, I could be wrong, but usually I'm not. And again, if I'm saying it's happening somewhere. So one of their game is to try to make you feel like you're part of the law enforcement, which I really am. They're not, but even though they're in, right, or they're out. They're out inside, but they're in outside. If you understand what that means. And oh damn, I lost my place. Oh yeah, because they've been willing it away. So they want to make you feel like you're part of law. And so again, you know, I got followed back by the state trooper on Twitter. So hey, you're part of us, hoping I won't say anything. That they could continue to execute me without me saying anything like before. I already told you, once quality of life, it's not based upon what you think it is, or actually what you want to deceive yourself it is, and what Satan deceived you that it was or is. I told you once quality of life dropped below a certain level, then it was over. And I told them even before it happened. And no, I didn't speak myself into it or speak the existence into it. This is what God. I didn't even know what I was like. I was saying it. I'm like, why am I saying this? And then years later, I figured it out. But God, so that they would understand. And I said, you know, once my quality of life, if my health drops below a certain level, then all bets are off. And I told them, once I become a certain age and I'm not with a woman and life isn't going to work at all, then that's the same thing. I said, don't take kindness as weakness. I said, I could curse off the world in a second, but it's just not what I'm to do. I'm healing the world. I'm trying to make it better. And they're angry because I'm healing black people. If they're racist, they didn't like me healing black people because they knew they were cursing black people into crime or into suicide or into sex, you know, into sexuality or whatever it is they're looking to do, like ignorance or something. Maybe all of the above. But that's not the only. That's a big one for them. They, you know, back when, because they hated black people. They even used black people against me, but they were the deep state black people. So it's like so twisted. The racist man that runs the racism in the government is also a big boss, and he can promise the black people stuff in their career if they do certain things for him or for her. There were people in the Marshal Service, you know, Matt Fogg, he made $4 million off of that lawsuit, and you know, that's real. He explained how the one guy, they called him a rat because he testified that yeah, they are racist. They were trying to what made them angry. At first, they put me with a black female partner because they think it's funny. Because to them, it's a lowly thing, right? And then they got mad because I'm the partner and I won't do her dirty. You know, I won't do her over. So again, they make them their own selves mad. Like doing this to me today, they don't have to do that. No reason for them to. They ruined my life in the community. That's what they're doing. Hoping I, pull back and pop the guy. Because this is what happens. You ever, like I told you, when you look in the news, it's not that confusing if you know what's really going on. Somebody run down the street, just shoot somebody because cops were fucking with him. Intelligence officers fuck with him. Private eyes fucking with him. It's all of the above. All of the above together. Why is this person putting their brakes on? Missouri again? Reminds me of Pennsylvania and New Jersey. Look, I wired right in with that one, didn't I? That's the craziest thing. They feel somebody from New Jersey to be elected in Pennsylvania. I mean, there's no larger rivalry in Pennsylvania. I mean, you're blind, all of you. Okay, you can blame me all you like, but you did it to me, and God's doing it to you. Like I say, if Trump was anything, he's more like King Asa. He's not whatever Cyrus or whatever. He tried to kill the seers. You don't know what's going on because you don't know the Bible and who everybody is. You believe the seer is like Chuck Hagee or John Hagee. John Hagee. His brother Chuck. His brother got chucked. But again, you have to be careful what you're doing. You can't work those operations. My mic keeps swinging away here because God will get you. Well, tell the cops it's a church, man. It's a church. It's separate. That's one thing that's sure. You don't have to work no law enforcement operation in your church. You're not going to be any less safe. In fact, what you do in the flesh takes away from your godly protection. That's what happened in the beginning, why those people got in. The cops got into the church, getting into your heads, telling you to do this psychological stuff before anybody shot anybody in your church. So I say that, and then I go to Indianapolis, and they try to say I wanted to shoot somebody in the church. I mean, bullshit. But of course, they got the little Secret Service thing in their ear. They're working for the FBI at that point. No, it's not official because they said, nah, he wasn't going to do that. But of course, they said, this guy, or DHS, or whoever it was. That's how they do it. But that's criminal law. Violation of rights under color of law. Yeah, I brought it on myself. Oh, okay. Yeah. Oh, yeah. You bring it on yourself now. Oh, okay. Yeah. Hey, Papa, what you got going on over here? I'm doing a traffic stop. Well, something bigger than that. An accident? Oh, I got that look, Oh, yeah. When an accident you got to report. Tickets easy. right, Oklahoma City, tickets are easy, right? All the people doing drugs, they go, one ticket, woo! I paid the man last week, woohoo! What they're going to do is get you to do all this dirty stuff and then own you. And then the narcotics distribution is going to flourish even more so because you can only go after the people they tell you to go after. That's the beast. That's what's going on. Has nothing to do with who's the president per se. The Republicans are a little scary because statement analysis says that, and I know it could be just politics, but statement analysis says that they're responsible for the low fentanyl seizures or the heroin seizures under Trump. In other words, somebody was on their take. But again, it requires investigations. Statement analysis isn't the be all of the investigation. It's just could be type of things. Of course, you wouldn't have said I'm adding to it when this started, right? But you didn't know because I wasn't saying anything. Well, it's the way you're saying. No, I first said it differently. Didn't you notice how I was helping everybody? Well, you officers got to do it this way because this is going on. And by the way, they're killing me. You didn't accept that, did you? Just like you didn't accept me wanting to go to church and get my life back churches too. Intelligence on churches. PIs own the churches because they got the pocketbook. And maybe some dirt on the preacher. The old Weinstein PI type thing. They do the same thing to preachers when they want to take over a church. They send them in like they did with Rose McGowan. Except she caught it early enough not to have been destroyed. But I don't know. She's down in Mexico. They might have sent her down there to, like a Bob Levinson to die. But somehow she's living. I mean, it's riskier to go live there. Maybe not for her. I don't know, since the deep state, deep state's not only Democrat. It's Republican, Democrat. Might actually be more in the Republicans at this point. Well, because there's different Democrats. Biden's not a deep state. Here's the thing. If people are making money and they're in the game, that's one thing. But everyday people, Biden doesn't hurt everyday people. At least I don't think he does. And this idea of this guy that's telling on, or not telling, it turned the laptop over. That's probably illegal to do that anyway. But the guy that did that, I mean, if you format the laptop and keep it, that's one thing. But the data on the laptop's not yours. But Biden's not destroying that guy. He had a little downturn because of COVID, and he tried to blame it on Biden. I mean, he's doing famously well. He's on television. He's got money. Believe me, if the Bidens were going after him, he wouldn't be on television. Because he'd be 6 feet under or dead. Not to say that they do that. It's just that's how it works. Thank you, sure. No, I don't think Biden's the guy to go after. And I mean, he's wrong. I mean, the FBI should be looking into it as far as what the law says. I don't believe that data is free. If you can't abandon data. I mean, if law enforcement definition of abandon is different than a private sector abandon. And then there's questions there. If you steal somebody's phone or get somebody to steal somebody's phone, and then, I found data, that's a question there. However, if in private sector, it's different than in the government as far as stealing data or finding data. So turning it over to the government was legal, but turning it over anywhere else is probably illegal, especially using porn, revenge porn type stuff. So people that are releasing porn politically, obviously it's revenge porn. So the guy's guilty of revenge porn. Definitely that. If not, data theft. Data is not abandonable for a private sector person. Now, you can turn it to the FBI because the FBI says it's abandoned at that point, or federal law would say. But again, there is a question of you knew whose laptop it was. Is it really abandoned? You call the Secret Service, say, I got this laptop, they come get it. or even anyone else, too. I mean, you can call anybody, say, as long as it's not, like, get to the FBI. That was okay, but you're not allowed to use it. Now, what was the FBI talking about? The real world. Everybody he knows that released that information that was not legally releasable got in trouble for it, or could get in trouble. Again, they're saying that he was like, you're going to get roughed up by the Bidens. I don't know if he was saying that. That's kind of a jump. I think he was saying, look, don't put this information out there because it's not yours. So I think in the end, the reality is that they're going to find that there's questions about how they came into the information and how he released the information. The bigger in other words, Hunter Biden became a victim by the release of that information. So at that point, the case is dirty, and the DOJ and the FBI can't do much with it. That's what I believe. It's just like people where they drop the charges. If there were charges, I'm not saying there were. Well, once somebody becomes a victim within a particular case, then they usually drop charges. And that's probably what they should in Hunter Biden's case, because he's a victim of whoever released that information. You're not allowed to just release information. There's data protection laws. Oh, wait, I'm in the wrong spot. Actually, I got to go to my storage unit. Oh, this woman's out here. My neighbor's got women in his room for a while, and then they, I guess, leave. I don't know who they are, and it's not my problem, but there's something sexual possibly going on there. Yeah, but you're not interested in him, right? Because that's real sex, right? I don't know. He could be meeting them on what Grinder. They'd love it for me to get a Grinder. I'm like, no, I don't go near that shit. I'm still old fashioned enough not to go near that shit. So yeah, I tried to date cam girls because they pushed me to it. It would have worked if they weren't there. I'd have been married. I guarantee it. Right? It doesn't enter my mind that they would mess that up too. I just, I guess you could say desperate. Wanted to be with somebody for the rest of my life and have a normal life. God's instruction: try to get married, and you thwarted it. And you're not the people in the Bible that force people to abstain from marriage or forbid them to marry. You're not them, right? Oh no, you set us up like that. No, I didn't. That was your big plan, all of you. I don't know how many other people you did that way. Like I said before, they may have done the Unabomber that way. Very interesting who the Attorney General is. Now that information's out. Oh, he definitely could have been operated. Like when I look at Bob, I know he was psychologically operated, Bob Levinson. When I see the Unabomber and then them pulling him out of his place and all, I'm like, he was operated. Because when I was in the Marshal Service, I was like 50 feet from looking like Kaczynski coming out of that room. Oh, not that I would have done it. It's just that's the way I felt. That's bizarre. There's something there. All right, I gotta reach here. Hang on a second. Yeah, the gate opened. It's actually not that cold tonight. It actually feels warmer than it did earlier in the day. Oh, that's not gonna work. I'm in park. Injured. Mike's got this. 816-888-7500. Call Mike. He's got it. It doesn't work for my case. Mike would like run away screaming. Yeah! I think I'm in the right spot, but maybe not. Let me see here. Oh, I think I turned it the wrong unit. kind of a scary storage place, but gotta use it. I can't be driving down there. I got like trailers all over the place parked there. I mean, like really awkward places. You're like, oh, hey, I don't know how to get around here in them big pickup trucks. All right, all right, all right.